What we can do today is that, we can use the chat box. We can use the chat in case you would like to put any thoughts, any questions. You're most welcome to do that. So that will make it more interactive without any type of disturbance taking place, because otherwise putting on the audio sometime some disturbances come and it disturbs the whole class. We will start with the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. I'll request all of you to please say that, the mantra, right? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. I think there was some type of last minute problem vis-a-vis the link is concerned. The link was being used by some existing group, and then a new link was basically generated because we were into 6 o'clock timing. Yeah, thank you. So yesterday was very interesting, and we had a lot of interaction, and we had covered 3 books, and in the WhatsApp group, all of you had shared your thoughts, and that was very nice to see that you found it very uh, elevating, you found it very enlightening, and you found it very informative, and I'm so happy about it. So we'll start with our prayer. नमो ओम विष्णु पदाय कृष्ण प्रेष्ठ भूतले श्रीमती भक्ति वेदांत स्वामिनी नमे नमस्ते सरस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रश्चानी निर्वासित शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारणी नमो महा वंदनाय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदाय ते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नमो गौर कृष्णाय नमः नमो ब्रह्माय देवा गो ब्रह्माय जय जगत कृष्णाय गोविंदाय नमो नमः. So we would like to first of all thank our founder Acharya A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, because of whom we have reached uh, access to this information, this knowledge, whereby we are in a position to share this knowledge. If Prabhupada was not there, we would have not had access to this sacred knowledge, which was lying in Sanskrit and Bangla and various other vernacular languages. So this is how I would like to, first of all, thank Prabhupada for this, and without him, and we like to thank the tradition, the parampara through which this information, this knowledge has been coming, and this is coming through thousands and thousands of years, an unbroken chain. So it has come to us through this unbroken chain, and we had covered 3 books yesterday. The books which we had covered was Krishna Consciousness, the Matchless Gift. That was the first one which we covered. Second we covered was Perfection of Yoga. Third which we covered was Krishna Reservoir or Pleasure. Today we are going to cover On the Way to Krishna, and then we will talk about Elevation to Krishna, and then Perfection of Yoga. So each of these books are having almost 7 to 8 chapters. Each of these books is almost 100 pages. So we are going to cover approximately 300 pages today, and maybe more than 300 pages in around about 2.5 hours. So welcome to all of you. You come from all over the world, from Indonesia, from America, from Malaysia, from UK, etc., etc. This Elevation to Krishna Consciousness, this book was first published in Culver City in California in USA 1973. And this is a discussion between Prabhupada and the historian Arnold J. Toynbee, which happened in London. The publication happened in US, but the discussion happened in London. And he said that Prabhupada said that I have started this Krishna consciousness movement among the Indians and Americans, and for the next 10,000 years, it will increase. So this is a prediction which Prabhupada had made. The next 10,000 years, this movement is going to increase. So ever since Prabhupada left sometime in 77, 78, it's been almost 50 years. So we need to be, and Kali Yuga has really increased a lot. So we did not bank upon that fact that 10,000 years are left. We need to bank on the fact that very little time is left, and we need to use this human form which we have got now, and basically the objective of human life should be achieved. And the objective of human life is basically back to Godhead, back to Krishna, so that we do not take any repeated births again. As we discussed yesterday, we have come through 84 lakh species. So each of the species which is there of a plant, an animal, an insect, an aquatic, we have gone through that, right? And we have gone through that n number of times. And after that, we have the privilege of having taken the human form. Human form is the only form which basically makes us privileged to basically elevate back to Godhead. All the faculties are available. It does not mean that an animal is not eligible. An animal is also eligible. There are a lot of examples in the Shastras whereby animals have directly gone to Vaikuntha. But the faculties, the comfort, and the knowledge, the understanding, uh, the Guru Parampara, everything is very much available in the human form, which is otherwise not available. So this book, the first chapter is choosing human and animal life. So you can see the photograph, it shows how the human form is there and how from aquatic to animals, this this transformation takes place. So we should not waste this life by working hard for sense gratification and worshipping hogs. And what does it mean? Prabhupada said very clearly, and it is contained in our Shastras, we are very, very foolish if we are working very hard. Then normally the American concept of life is, or the European concept of life is, that you need to keep on working, working, working. That is a concept. But our Shastra says, no. If you are working, then you are basically working like a hog, you're working like a donkey, and you're working for hogs. We have discussed this in detail yesterday, but I will keep on touching about it again and again, right? We should not waste our life in sense gratification and working. We should focus our life, focus our time in terms of increasing our frequency to Krishna consciousness, increasing our frequency to spiritual consciousness from bodily consciousness, so that we can go back to Krishna. The same frequency is required, the prem bhav is required. We should accept a life devoted to the cultivation of Krishna consciousness, and then we'll get unlimited happiness and unlimited pleasure. In these books of Prabhupada, there are certain things which keep on taking overlap. The first day, people who attended the first day, they were the most fortunate because they learned everything. And now many of the things will be a type of a revision for them. And the amount of effort which is spent on the first day, that was the most. Because now, it is more or less, many of the things will be revised. So, we should spend our time in terms of Krishna consciousness. What is Krishna consciousness was detailed and defined yesterday. Some of you can put what is Krishna consciousness in terms of what you have understood in the chat box? Yeah, Krishna Bandhu Gayatri Mataji, would you like to do that? Amal Prem Das, would you like to do that? Dr. Hemant Agarwal, would you like to do that? Vaishnavi, Kamta Mataji, would you like to do that? What is Krishna consciousness? Yes, any one of you can just put it in the chat box. I'll just repeat it. Krishna consciousness is nothing basically, it is getting into the same frequency as the Almighty. I had shared with you that when you have to use a mobile phone, you have to get into the frequency of the mobile phone, 4G, 5G, then you will be able to catch and you'll be able to talk to somebody, right? The frequency has to be there. Likewise, the physical frequency in which we are there in the material world does not match with the frequency of the Almighty. That frequency which is there is a spiritual consciousness. And the ultimate level of it is basically the Prem Bhav. Because Lord ultimately understands Prem Bhav. That is what Krishna consciousness is in the gist. We had discussed in detail. This ultimately helps us to get Anand, unlimited happiness and unlimited pleasure. Because all our disgust, all our anxiety is in the realms of the physical body only. The moment we do not have or do not think that I have a ownership of anything, this wife does not belong to me, the husband does not belong to me, children do not belong to me, this property does not belong to me, the anxiety is finished. So they do not become the source of anxiety as well as happiness. Hence, getting into the realization of the spiritual form out of the physical form, shifting from the bodily consciousness to the spiritual consciousness, getting into the consciousness that we are the Atma, not the body. That is ultimately will basically get you into it. The problem is what? That we think that this is my house. It is not my house. We think this is my job. This is not my job. We are all on a temporary basis here. Everything belongs to Krishna. So we are under a very, very mistaken identification of ourselves with the body. So once that identification of the body is reduced and minimized, the happiness starts coming in, because then the link between the Atma and the Paramatma is. Purified existence constitutes the difference between animal life and human life. The more we are elevated, the more we are purified in terms of our soul is concerned, the more we get the opportunity to graduate to the human life. If we purify our existence simply by following the basic regulations of Krishna consciousness, which involves abstaining from 4 points which we discussed yesterday: illicit sexual connection, meat eating, intoxication, and gambling. Once we are able to get out of these 4, then we would have got into an elevation of pure consciousness. Right? Meat eating is basically you're killing somebody. You're killing a body which has been entitled to that body by Almighty. Right? Intoxication is basically you are toxicating your intelligence which has been given by Almighty. Gambling is basically you're not following the straightforward pure path. We will gradually rise to attain our spiritual existence, which is completely pure. Second chapter. The living entities, you're talking about happiness here. The living entities, jivas, are minute samples of the Supreme Lord. And being so, they therefore find in their activities the desire for eternal existence, for complete knowledge, and for happiness. The Almighty is the source and the ultimate of supreme happiness. Hence, since He is the source of supreme happiness, we also have a desire for happiness. That is the main reason why we have an instinct for happiness. And we keep on flapping around this, that, have a child, make the child go to a good school, convent school, good college, marriage, job, right? Promotions. These are our yardsticks for happiness. But these are the yardsticks which are all very, very temporary and hence do not get us happiness. A fish that is taken out of the water cannot be happy by any arrangement on land, right? Likewise, our original existence is in the spiritual realms. We are a soul, we are not a body. So, what we are trying to do, we are trying to enjoy ourselves in the bodily consciousness, which is not ours. As we discussed yesterday, Lord says very clearly in the Bhagavad Gita, planet Earth is Dukh Alaya. If it is Dukh Alaya, how can we find happiness over here? It is foolishness to do that. In a Pustakalaya, you find books. In a Bhojanalaya, you find food. And in a Dukhalaya, you do not find happiness. So in the spiritual realm, the pure happiness and the permanent happiness is there. Here, the body itself is going to punish you. So, Satchida Anand, this is the actually constituent of the Lord, and we are minute parts of it. We cannot be really happy through any amount of planning conceived by this illusion brain in this material universe. Because this material universe is temporary, hence false. Something which is temporary, hence false, cannot get you a permanent happiness. Today you have a husband, tomorrow you don't have a husband. Today you have a wife, do not have a wife. Today you have a job, tomorrow you don't have a job. Hence it is all temporary. He must therefore be given a different type of happiness which is spiritual in essence. Hard struggle for happiness because we are misdirected. We are conditioned soul, as we discussed yesterday, the definition of conditioned soul. From the beginning, from the birth, we get conditioned. Conditioning means what? Look, this is your mother, this is your father, this is your, this is your uh, elder brother, this is your elder sister, this is your school, this is your country. This is a false conditioning. This is male, this is female, this is false conditioning. Hence, the entire crux is wrong. Best and surest way for everyone to attain spiritual bliss was propounded by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu by means of devotional activities. These devotional activities can change the very face of material nature. So always do seva, devotional service. Please do direct devotional service. Please do direct devotional service. Please do direct devotional service. Because then you get into that frequency, and then when you get into that frequency, your CV becomes eligible for Vaikuntha Dham. Otherwise, if you are an accountant here, there is no job of an accountant over there in Vaikuntha. Hence, seva is important. That will actually get you happiness because you are doing pure job for the Almighty. And dovetailing, we discussed at length yesterday on dovetailing. Hankering after material happiness is called lust, and lusty activities are sure to meet with frustration in the long run. So, if I buy a car, it will give me happiness. Then it goes to an accident. Then I have to pay the insurance. I have to pay for petrol. It doesn't help in the long run. The body of a snake is very cool, but if a man wanting to enjoy this coolness garlands himself with a venomous snake, he will surely be killed by the snake of venomous bite. The material senses are compared to snakes. Material senses are compared to snakes. Our material senses, if we see anything which is other than the Almighty, if we do not listen to Krishna Katha and listen to certain things which are political or whatever, it doesn't help. If we don't smell the garland which has been put in the neck of the Almighty, and we keep on, things, keep on perfumes and all those things which are artificial. This is all gratifying the material sense. We need to dovetail everything with the Almighty. The perfumed offer to the Almighty is something which we are actually eligible for. From the highest planet in the material world down to the lowest, Bhagavad Gita 8.16, all are places of misery, where repeated birth and death take place, but one who attains to my abode, O son of Kunti, never takes birth again. What does it mean? It means when all the other religions are talking about, yes, you will go to Swarglok, you will go to heaven, but after going to heaven, you are bound to take rebirth again. Likewise, when somebody says he has become Swargvasi, you are cursing that person. Because saying that somebody has become Swargvasi, it means you are telling him that he has gone for a vacation, he has gone to Sterling Resort, he has gone to Mahindra Resort, he'll stay there for 1,000 years, and again then he has to take birth again. So for the good things, he has gone to Swarglok. Hence, we have to get out of the mode of goodness, being in the mode of ignorance, being in the mode of passion, and being in the mode of goodness. Being in the mode of goodness means when you identify good things being done with your own self. When you identify good things being done by the Almighty and you are just an insignificant medium, then you go beyond the mode of goodness. Then only you are able to go to Vaikuntha. Otherwise, what will happen? You will go to Swarglok or any of the higher planetary systems. And then you have to come back again. So this is, we are very lucky that we are all born in the Sanatana Dharma, whereby this access to this information is there. Otherwise, everywhere they say, yes, he's gone to heaven. He's gone to heaven. He's gone to Swarglok. And in a Sanatana Dharma also, everybody says he has become Swargvasi. Oh, my dear friend, if you are saying Swargvasi, you are cursing that person. There are uthalas which are there in which they are saying that, let us pray, let us chant 11 rounds so that he gets Swarg. You're cursing him. So this is where it is. So all of you who are sitting here are requested to know the Shastras and then spread the right word. Otherwise, it is the life and birth cycle will continue. The demonic person thinks, so much wealth do I have today and I will gain more according to my schemes. So much is mine now and it will increase in the future more and more. So Bhagavad Gita 16.13 says, because this is a mentality which is there of everybody. It is my mentality also. We need to plan for our old age, everything and all that. But all the time being obsessive about planning so much of money, this, that, is not right. Because everything belongs to Krishna and everything has to be put in his seva. We are all eternal servants of the Supreme Lord and therefore cannot enjoy anything for our personal interest. It is therefore necessary for us to learn how to employ our senses in the transcendental service of the Lord and to utilize everything to serve his interest. Our legs have to be used to go to the temple, right? Our tongue has to be used to chant the Mahamantra, to talk about Krishna. Our ears have to be used to hear the Krishna Katha. Our eyes have to be used to see the form of the deity, right? Our voice has to be used likewise to talk about Krishna. So each of our senses should be put into Krishna. The more we do it, the more we will get actual happiness. The Supreme Lord is the whole and we are the parts. But we are all busily engaged in activities of self-interest. We have declared each one of us as an independent nation. Right? So that is the problem. We do not consider ourselves as the part of the Almighty. We do not consider ourselves that we are his servant and it is our duty to make him happy. It is our duty to see that Lord has to be happy. We are spending all our time to make our bosses happy. But our ultimate job is to make the Almighty happy. And dovetailing, as we discussed a lot yesterday, if you can see the Almighty in your boss and dovetail your job in such a way that you are ultimately actually working for the Lord, then both the things can also work. As because Prabhupada has said, you cannot get away from a single second from work. So this is, I'll try to read this first. Even the cultivation of spiritual realization for one's own self-interest is unlawful and destructive. The point is that all activities must be directed to the satisfaction of Krishna and his service. This is a very important thing, and that's why I made it, go round and round. So, cultivation of spiritual realization for your own self-interest is destructive. If somebody says, I will become a very big guru, I'll have a very big temple. So you are having some type of a self-interest. If it is devoid of self-interest and it should be directed towards the satisfaction and happiness of Krishna, then only it is pure seva. Okay? Bhagavad Gita 16.12, being bound by hundreds and thousands of desire, by lust and anger, they secure money by illegal means for sense gratification. This is a story of each one of us. At least I can talk about me. Consequently, although there is no lack of money in the world, there is a scarcity of peace. There is no lack of money at all in this world, but there is a scarcity of peace. Hence, what does it mean? Both the things cannot be equated at all. People who are billionaires, trillionaires, they don't get sleep, right? Something goes wrong with their company, the share value comes down. They are all in a major problem. There are so many people who are cursing them, etc., etc. If money is not devoted to the service of Lord, it must be spent as spoiled energy in the form of legal problems or disease. This is what is coming in the scriptures, and Prabhupada is talking about. As I told you yesterday, you can see Lord Vishnu is sitting here and Mata Lakshmi is sitting in his footsteps. So always remember this photograph. If Lakshmi is not put in the service of Krishna, it is most likely to go into diseases and legal problems. This is what the scriptures say. And scriptures are coming directly from the Almighty. So we might well believe it and not apply our mind. So we need to, blend it. Lakshmi must be used in the service of Narayan. The laws of nature do not allow us to accept more money than is required for proper maintenance. This is also there in the scripture I wanted to share with you. Anyone can collect any amount of salt from the natural storehouse, that is the sea. But constitutionally, we cannot take more salt than what we need. If we take more salt, we spoil the broth. And we take less salt, our food becomes tasteless. So this is how Prabhupada has given the example, and it has been sourced from the scriptures. But you would say, I need to do my planning, I need to have for my old age. There is no harm in doing that. You can do that. But doing it beyond a point and having insecurity actually tantamounts to no surrender to the children, to the Almighty. Our system is what? Our system is this: you worked up to a particular age and then your children take care of you. You will say, I do not know whether my children will take care of me or not. What does it mean? It means that we ourselves were not educated about the Shastras. Maybe our parents didn't teach us. Hence, we did not teach our children. And hence, we are expecting and contemplating this problem to come. But nevertheless, many of you who are very young have taken up the Krishna conscious movement at the right time, can always train their children, and we can pray to the Almighty so that we can spend more and more time not working for menial jobs, but in Krishna consciousness and utilizing our life going back to Godhead, because we do not know today is the last day or tomorrow is the last. The miseries of life are divided into three categories, namely miseries arising from the body, from the mind, and miseries arising from other living entities, and misery arising due to natural requirements. So we are talking about happiness. So we are talking about miseries, right? Miseries from the body. Body is the biggest agent of punishment. We say my body, but the biggest pain will be given by our body, right? We talk about my intelligence, my mind, right? But the mind is the one which does not allow us to sleep at night, right? And miseries from other entities, somebody says something to us, we get hurt, and miseries from natural calamity. So understanding these sources and, and then surrendering to the Almighty helps. To those, Bhagavad Gita 10.10, to those who are constantly devoted and worship me with love. Yesterday we spent a lot of time and you realize how Bhagavad Gita time and again, Krishna time and again, Prabhupada time and again, scriptures time and again, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu time and again, talks about one word, love, 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 prem, prem, prem. Otherwise, we do not have anything else to offer to the Lord. So what does Lord say? To those who are constantly devoted, word is constant, constantly devoted, and worship me with love, I give the understanding by which they can come to me. You just have to give love to the Almighty constantly. I had given that entire example how we have to be constantly engaged with the Almighty from the morning till the evening till the night. I had told the entire timetable, entire instances. Just have to continue that, and Lord will take care of you. He says, I'll give you the understanding. I'll give you the understanding, right? There's a hand which has been raised. Okay, yes, Prabhupada. Thank you. So this is where it is. It's Bhagavad Gita 14.4. It should be understood that all species of life, O son of Kunti, are made possible by birth in this material nature, and that I am the seed giving father. I am the seed giving father. This is so important to understand. It means I am the father of the ant. I am the father of the mosquito. I am the father of the COVID. I am father of everyone. Please understand that. It's quite possible in our previous birth we may have been a COVID or whatever. So at the end of the day, you protect yourself. It's not that you don't have to protect yourself against a mad elephant. You protect yourself, but please, in any enemy or anything, whatever it is, please see Krishna also. And that's how we had discussed yesterday, how to see Krishna everywhere, every time, all the time. Once you start doing it, what happens? Happiness automatically increases. Happiness increases in the distressful situation also because you are seeing Krishna everywhere. In this material world, Mother Prakriti, which is material nature, supplies us with the body, and the Supreme Father impregnates this matter with living soul. Mother Prakriti and the Almighty Father, right? As long as we are operating under the bodily conception of life, our activities are material. But as soon as we understand, I do not belong to this body, I am a spirit soul, our activities will be in accordance to that realization. So that realization takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of time. The moment you are able to realize that you are a Atma in the real sense, you have actually reached that vibration of spiritualization, spiritual consciousness. And once you reach that, you add prem to it, you are ready to go to Almighty. Knowledge of a proper identity, that is spiritual consciousness as a soul, is separate from the body, is real knowledge. But this knowledge is denied as long as we cling to the bodily identification. As I said, my identification, as I shared with you, of working with a company is wrong. My biodata is wrong. My qualifications are wrong because they do not go with me after I leave this body. So Prabhupada has been explaining it in different ways. Now, we talked about happiness, we talk about distress, getting out of distress, getting into happiness, soul consciousness, getting into the peaceful society. In the Vedic literature, we find that in this age, everyone is a born Sudra. Please understand this thing and note down. Our Shastras are very clear. Once the Kali Yuga started, after Lord Krishna left, Vyasdev ji says that anybody born in the Kali Yuga is born as a Shudra. Everybody, each and every one of us. We are born as a Shudra. Why? Because your soul was born in the human form. Your soul did not qualify back to Vaikuntha. It means you are a failure. You are a failure and you come back again. You are born in a Shudra, so you have to qualify yourself by getting inputs. Like, for example, you are now, all of you are planning to be qualifying yourself by studying the Shastras, hence you are qualifying yourself to be a Brahman. So you can qualify yourself to be a Brahman. Therefore, everyone requires to be educated of his real identity. If, however, we remain satisfied with our birth by our father and mother, we will remain in our condition as a Sudra. We have to rise to the Brahmanical platform by following the purification process. Brahmanical platform has been made into a very negative way in the last 2000 years. It is our duty to tell our children that this is a division of labor which was basically made by Lord himself, and it has been clearly mentioned in Bhagavad Gita that it is based on merit. Lord Krishna says very clearly, it is not by birth, it is based on your merit. It's the same thing as modern day division of labor. Nothing else. So likewise, there are so many examples. Parshuram, who was a born Brahmana, but his activity, he was a Kshatriya. Likewise, the guru of Arjuna was a born Brahmana, but he worked as an Kshatriya. So there are various examples which were there in that yuga also. A Brahmana is one who is truthful and pure, tolerant and simple. So we all have to graduate to that level. Truthful and pure, tolerant and simple, full of knowledge and faith in God. He can control his mind and his senses. These are the qualification of a Brahman. Not somebody who is wearing just a thread and wearing orange robe or a white robe. No, that is not. Sudama, who was the friend of Krishna, was a Brahman, right? He is an epitome of sacrifice as a Brahman. They were in the forest, there was rain which was falling, and Sudama had got some, chanas with him, horse gram, and he was, and Krishna was feeling hungry, but he did not give it to Krishna and he ate it alone because he remembered that those horse grams had been stolen and the person who was the owner of the horse gram had cursed that anybody who eats those horse grams or that chana will remain in poverty throughout. Knowing this curse, Sudama ate that and did not allow Krishna to eat, and he was in poverty throughout. So this is the quality of a Brahmana who is willing to voluntarily sacrifice for the upliftment of the society. Almost everyone is a Sudra. Society cannot be peaceful unless there are four divisions of human beings functioning in harmony with one another. Bhagavad Gita 4.13. According to the three modes of material nature and the work ascribed to them, mode of goodness, mode of passion, mode of ignorance, the four divisions of human society are created by me. This is what Lord says. And although I am the creator of the system, you should know that I am yet the non-doer, being unchangeable. However, when we transcend the material plane, there is oneness. At that time, all the divisions fall apart. So, however, when we transcend the material plane, so this is for the material plane. Try to understand. Once we transcend that, all the divisions fall apart. In the spiritual plane does not take. The question is therefore how to transcend towards a peaceful society. The more the material nature and the transcendence is a very process of Krishna consciousness. As soon as we become situated in Krishna consciousness, we become transcendental to the modes of material nature. So getting into a spiritual vibration with Prem Bhav gets us into Krishna consciousness, and we are able to get out of the material mode. One, Bhagavad Gita 14.26, one who engages in full devotional service, that is dovetailing all his activities for the happiness of Krishna, who does not fall down in any circumstances, at once transcend the mode of material nature and thus comes to the level of a Brahman. So it's a very tough, difficult task. The four divisions of human society were created by Krishna in order to facilitate this process of elevation, just as a student is elevated. So these were created. If you're a Shudra, you're not Shudra for life. You walk towards, as a Grasta ashram, you work as a merchant, okay, fine. Or you become a Kshatriya, right? And then when you become into a sannyas ashram or vanprastha ashram, through your education, you can become a Brahman. I myself am born into a Kshatriya family, but because of my education and because of the mercy of Guru Maharaj, I am now a Brahman. Whether I'm still qualified to it or not, it's a different question altogether. But the process is there in the Shastras and is still available to us. Mercy to the Parampara. So the process is the process of cooperation. Nobody is higher, nobody is lower, right? If they cooperate in this process, the progress towards Krishna consciousness takes place. There is no strife amongst them. In the present social status, we find that we are existing in these four divisions, but there is no cooperation. Everyone is dissatisfied. Right? You know, if you look into it, somebody who is, when he is educating and he is, before Grast, he is a brahmachari. So anybody and everybody can be a brahmachari, whether he is born in a family of a Sudra, Vaishya, or a Kshatriya. Somebody who has been a brahmachari all through going to a Gurukula or being taught by his parents or being associated with organization like ISKCON, then he becomes the right person as far as Grasta Ashram is concerned. Because he has all the knowledge of the scriptures. We get into a Grasta Ashram without having knowledge of the scriptures, and hence all the problem takes. We do not retire by the age of 50 because we are all insecure. We do not have surrender to Krishna. Hence, the age of 50, which is given as a retirement age, we do not retire. This entire complication takes place. Thus, Krishna consciousness is the utmost necessity for the all divisions of society. Bhagavad Gita, always think of me, become my devotee. 18.65, worship me and offer your homage unto me. Thus, you will come to me without fail. I promise you this because you are my dear friend. The Lord is saying this to each one of you. Please note it down. This is one of the most important verses of Bhagavad Gita. Always think of me. Become my devotee. Worship me and offer your homage unto me. Thus you will come to me without fail, without fail, without fail. I promise you. Such a big promise Lord is giving. Just remember one thing very clearly. Paramatma is only one. Rest of them are his agents. Maybe saints, maybe avatars, maybe whosoever. But Paramatma is only one. And the actual Sarupa of Paramatma is Krishna. We'll come to Brahma Samhita. And when we come to Brahma Samhita, we will talk about it. This is Brahma Samhita, which we will do tomorrow. Modern society is in dire need of intellectual persons or Brahmin. So what is happening as of today, thanks to Prabhupada, otherwise the Brahmin society would have totally become extinct. Thanks to South India, these are still there. If the Brahmin society was not there, these 8 big universities of India, which were bigger and greater than Harvard during their time, like Nalanda, Taxila and all that, they were all run by Brahmin. All the various sciences, chemistry, metallurgy, astrology, astronomy, talk about everything. So when any civilization has to be destroyed, the invaders will come and hit upon the bank of knowledge. And the knowledge was held by the Brahmana. All these universities being destroyed by the invaders, they still held on to these precious information, precious knowledge. And because of, God sent, you know, acharyas like Prabhupada, we have got access to them. Knowing Krishna as he is. Brahma Samhita also gives us information regarding Jagadish, the Supreme. In that work, Lord Brahma says that Supreme Controller is Lord Krishna himself, Ishwara Parama Krishna. Brahma Samhita, this book is chapter 5 of Brahma Samhita. There are a total of 100 chapters over there. All of 99 chapters were lost and only one is left. This is the first book and is 4.5 billion years old. This is when Brahma opened his mouth after being in tapasya. We will discuss this tomorrow. So the first verse in the first chapter of chapter 5 is Ishwar Parama Krishna. Brahma says the Param is Krishna. You will say, no, he came only 5,500 years back. How can he be? That also we will discuss it tomorrow. Bhagavad Gita 7.7. There is no truth superior to me. Everything rests upon me as pearls are strung on a thread. This chapter is knowing Krishna as he is. So Krishna is saying there is nothing more than me. I am the one. I am the truth. Just like pearls are there, strung on a thread. Bhagavad Gita 3.22. O son of Parth, there is no work prescribed for me within all the three planetary systems. Neither am I in want of anything, nor have I need to obtain anything. Yet I am engaged. What is Lord saying? Lord is saying, there is no need for me to do any work, but still I am engaged. Hence, he's giving us this thing that, look, you also just cannot go into a cave, cannot go into a forest and disengage. You have to be always been continuously be in some work, right? But that has to be dovetailed with Krishna. Bhagavad Gita 10.8. I am the source of everything. From me, the entire creation flows. Knowing this, the wise worship me with all their hearts. The living entity in this conditional world are due to conditioned life. They are struggling very hard with the six senses, which includes the mind. So mind is also a sense. So on the side, we have the mind, we have the six senses, right? The material world is there, and the body is there, and the other side is what is there? Our actual true consciousness, which is the spiritual consciousness. So the fight between the two is always going on. And once we know it, then we are able to reach the Almighty. Bhagavad Gita 5.38. This is Brahma Samhita. I worship Govinda, the primary Lord. Who is saying this? Brahma is saying. Who is Shama Sundar Krishna himself with inconceivable, innumerable attributes, whom the pure devotees see in their heart of hearts with the eyes of devotion, sing with the salve of love. When Brahma was born, when he came out, he was confused who he is, what he is. And then he heard the word tap, tap, tap. Tap means tapasya, tapasya. So he went into 100 years of tapasya. And then this entire enlightenment took place to him, that everything belongs to Krishna, Govinda. Whoever is engaged in the service of Krishna is superior energy. Now knowing Krishna's energy. Please engage me in your service. If you remember, I had told you yesterday how to do Dandvat Pranam, how to surrender to Lord, and then I had told you about please engage me in your service, right? and surrender to is being repeated over here. Bhagavad Gita 18.62. O icon of Bharat, surrender unto him in all respects, so that by his mercy you can have transcendental peace and eternal abode. The Goswamis of crying and searching after Radha and Krishna like madmen, we have to follow in their footprints of the Goswami and search out Radha and Krishna. Vrindavan is in our hearts and we must search for him there. Prabhupada said, Vrindavan is my home. That is a totally different world altogether. Vrindavan is all about love, all about purity, all about that consciousness, all about the stories of the Goswamis, all about the stories of pure saints, all about the stories of people who are so pure. And if you are having actual purity, you will not find any dirt in Vrindavan. Some people say, I find so many monkeys, I find so much of garbage, etc., etc. No. Parallelly, Vrindavan is there in a spiritual form even now. Leela of Lord and Radharani are taking place every night. In fact, one of the Goswamis had said that it is not possible that if you stay in Vrindavan for 2 nights and 2 days, that you would have not seen Krishna in some form or the other, which your eyes may not have realized. So that's a different level altogether, and we have to graduate over there. Because God has given this platform to us. Almighty has given this platform to us so that we can get into that vibration, get into the frequency, and then back to Godhead. We must feel a separation from Almighty. We must feel the separation like the Goswamis used to feel. They used to cry. The more we feel separation, this is a secret. The more we feel separation, the more we should understand that we are advancing. If we are not feeling separation, if there are not tears in our eyes, like in my eyes, there are no tears, we are not advancing. So that is the formula. Lord Ram was asked, he said, if somebody is crying for me, I run towards him. So that is the ultimate secret. If we have dry eyes, we have made no advancement. So with our material senses, we cannot see Krishna. With our material senses, we cannot see Krishna. We have to see it from our heart. Nor can we even hear his name. We can begin to perceive him when we advance in devotional service. What devotional service is, we discussed at length yesterday. That devotional service begins with the tongue, not the legs, eyes, or ears. Tongue means you talk about. We cannot see Krishna with our material eyes, nor hear about him with material ears, nor touch him with our hands. But if we engage our tongue in his service, he will reveal himself, saying, Here I am. And the tongue has to be directly linked to the heart. And the tongue has to be in Prem Bhav. If it is not in Prem Bhav, it's not possible. The chanting of Hare Krishna extinguishes the blazing fire of material nature. This is also the purpose to the following prayer, the spiritual master. If after many births one has to come to the point of surrender, then why not immediately? When I go to Kumbh Mela and I see almost 1.5 crore people who are sadhus, who are coming every 5 years, I always say, I must have worked in Morgan Stanley, I must have worked in Times of India. But these are the real intelligent people. Those guys from IIM Ahmedabad are not the intelligent people. These guys who have given up their entire family, given up everything, and are in Kumbh Mela and are given up their entire life in search of the Almighty, they are the real intelligent. While what we do, we look down upon them. We are the insecure people who do not have confidence on the Almighty, that Almighty will take care of us. They are the people who do not know where they will get their next meal from. And we consider them as beggars. So there is a lot of secret which is there in this entire country. Kumbh Mela is all full of secrets. of all such great souls who are coming. You do not know who is there, who may look like a beggar, but you do not know who he is. He may be 1,000-year-old sannyasi. He may be somebody who has already seen Almighty. We do not know. Hence, if you have to get Krishna after so many months, why not get it immediately? He has given us the option, right? The blazing fire of material nature is supervised by Durga. Prithvi Lok, right? And Durga Mata. Durga means what? Durg means a fort. Somebody who is taking care of the Durg is Durga. And this planet Earth is a prison. We are enjoying ourselves, but this is actually a prison. And Durga Mata is taking care of. Our present civilization is therefore a mistaken civilization. Our knowledge is mistaken. Our entire education system is mistaken. It's all false because the mistaken leaders have forgotten to raise the anchor of attachment. Instead, the anchor is being more and more firmly fixed towards materiality. Bhagavatam 16.10. The demonic taking shelter of the insatiable lust, pride, false prestige, and being thus illusioned, are always sworn to unclean birth, attracted by the impermanent. Their belief is that to gratify the senses onto the end of life is the prime necessity of human civilization. Thus, there is no measurement for their anxiety. This is what Almighty says. So we should gradually try to detach ourselves, which is everything which is material. We may stay in the material environment, but we should detach it by dovetailing it. Do everything in the service, use everything material in the service of Krishna. Once you do that, detachment is there. Okay? As I had given you the example of Prabhupada and the Rolls-Royce car. Okay? We need not artificially adopt principles of materialism. We need only fix our mind on the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord, the personality of God. As I said, yesterday when we were discussing, we should not do it artificially. We should always hold the lotus feet of the Almighty close to our chest, so that praying to Him that our heart should be purified. Hence, our soul will get purified. The real form of this tree cannot be perceived in this world. No one can understand where it ends and where it begins, or where it is, where its foundation is. The banyan tree must be cut out with determination by the weapon of detachment. I'll tell you what it means. Our actual life, which is there, is like a banyan tree, which is there on the bank of a lake. But in the reality, what happens that the reflection which is there in the water is the true sense. When you see the reflection, you see the roots on the top and you see the leaves below. The reflection of the banyan tree which you are seeing in the lake is the actual reality of spiritual life. Roots means what? Roots cannot be seen, but they are under the ground. But in banyan tree, that you can still see the roots. When you see the reflection on the top and you see the roots on the top, it means what? We should water the roots rather than we should water the tree. Watering the root means what? Reaching the source of spirituality. Source means Krishna. Material world is what? Yes, fruit is there, leaf is there, branch is there. But no, the entire source is what? The entire junction is what? It's the root. So likewise, this entire world, whatever we are seeing is actually all opposite, ulta. One must surrender to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, from whom everything has begun and is extending since time immemorial. Bhagavad Gita 7.7. O conqueror of wealth, Arjuna, there is no truth superior to me. Everything rests upon me as pearl strung to a thread. Our eternal relationship with God is Sabajan. God is great and we are subordinate. He is the predominator and we are the predominated. The duty of the subordinate is to please the predominator, that is the superior. Similarly, if we want to be happy, we must learn how to make Krishna happy. This is the process of Krishna consciousness. Now just try to understand that you are going to office daily, okay? And your boss has given you a KRA. Okay, look, this is what you have to do for the year. And you are doing it at the end of the year. What is happening? You are getting a promotion because whatever your boss has told, you have done it. But you are coming to planet Earth. Who is the boss? Krishna is the boss. And you do not know what Krishna wants. So when you go away, what will happen? Krishna will say the objective which I had given you was different and you didn't even know the objective and you were doing something totally on your own. So what will happen? You will fail. So when we go to boss, go to our office, we work vis-a-vis what the objective is. But when we are coming to planet Earth and the boss is the Almighty and we do not know what the objective of coming to planet Earth is, we are definitely bound to be a failure, no? So that is the biggest disaster. We have not got that true information, true education. Probably very few of us have got from our parents. Very few of us have got from our teachers. True knowledge, true information is there in our Shastras. Rest is all an illusion. How is to be understood that Supreme Lord is satisfied by our service and labor? It is actually possible to perfect our service or occupational duty. How is to be understood that Supreme Lord is satisfied with our service? Once you start getting a happiness which you feel is not linked to certain events and incidents, then it means the Almighty is happy because He is also sitting within you. Perfection of duty can be tested by seeing whether the Supreme Lord is satisfied by its execution. The Supreme Lord's satisfaction can be tested by the Lord representative, the spiritual master. So if your spiritual master is happy, that is also an indication. Therefore, it is important to seek out a real representative of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. You must always look out for a guru in the parampara. That is very, very important. This is there in the Bhagavad Gita 15.34. Supreme Personality of God and work under him. If he is satisfied, then we should know that the Supreme Lord is also satisfied. That is why the Guru Shiksha Parampara is so important. Krishna says that you need to have a Guru. And he has designated a Guru as his representative. And if the if Guru is happy, then Krishna is also happy. Vishwanath Chakravarti says, by the mercy of the spiritual master, one is benedicted by the mercy of Krishna. So if you get the mercy of the spiritual master, you get the mercy of Krishna also. Without the grace of the spiritual master, no one can make any advancement. Therefore, I should always remember the spiritual master at least 3 times a day. I should offer my respectful obeisances onto the lotus feet of the spiritual master. So hence, in our parampara, having a guru is so important. Because the guru is basically acting on behalf of Krishna. Guru is basically getting us a ticket for going back to Godhead, back to Krishna. He is moving our file. Otherwise, we are of no eligibility. We have no eligibility. At least I have no eligibility to go. Now, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, you must at least have enough sense to test to find out who is a spiritual master and who is not. But this is something which you have to find out. You have to do the homework to find out the right spiritual master, because Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, I give you what you want. So if you are looking for an imposter as a spiritual master, Krishna will give you that. But if you are looking for a pure soul, Krishna will do that. Krishna is very kindful. Krishna gives you everything. If you want to be a pig, he will make you a pig. If you want to be a prime minister, he will make you a prime minister. If you say, I don't want anything, but I want you, he will give you that. He is very merciful because he looks at us as our children. Bhagavad Gita 9.27, Krishna says, O son of Kunti, all that you do, all that you eat, very, very important. All that you do, all that you eat, all that you offer and give away, as well as all austerities that you perform should be done as an offering unto me. We had discussed this yesterday in great detail, and Bhagavad Gita, Prabhu, and Krishna is giving it in 9.27. So, how to remember him all the time? So likewise, now when we are talking, we know that Krishna is there in this class. And when we are talking, we are reading out words of Krishna. Krishna, it is Krishna's voice, it is Krishna's words. All of us are the listeners. I'm also the listener. Because the body belongs to him, it does not belong to me. The voice belongs to him, it does not belong to me. The words belong to him, it does not belong to me. So we are all listening to Krishna only. It is his words, it is his presence. So please note this again, all that you do, all that you eat, all that you offer and give away, as well as all austerities that you perform should be done as an offering to me. So after you're over with this class, thanks to Krishna with folded hands that this 2.5 hours is an offering to you and thank you for being there. Then getting up, going to the dining table to have your prasadam, even if the prasad has been offered, offer it to him. The more you can increase the frequency, the more you get spiritualized or the more you get Krishna conscious. And the more you are eligible to back to God. If, however, we want to be cheated, Krishna will send us a cheater, which I was telling you, and we will be cheated throughout our life. It means if you are looking forward to a guru who keeps on, massaging our ego, oh, very good, you have given me 10 lakh rupees, very good, I will honor you, and you will be cheated. It is Srimati Radharani who is the very embodiment of perfect devotional service. So we have to graduate to that level. I mean, that's too far away, So maybe many of you may have already graduated, but that is the inner circle of the Lord. So there's so much of honey which is there, so much of sweetness is there. We can become associates of Radharani by qualifying ourselves in advanced devotional service. In devotional service, there is no frustration. Even if we perform only a small amount, it will grow. As I told you, it is a fixed deposit, always on growing from one birth to other birth. Devotional service is never lost. Like you lose all your degrees on death, you lose all your money on death, you lose all your property on death, but you do not lose your bhakti. It keeps on multiplying from birth to birth. As far as the material things are concerned, whatever we gain in this world, we lose. All finish. It is not that we have coined the term Krishna consciousness. Krishna consciousness is the oldest phrase in the history of the world. This is coming, as Prabhupada is telling us. Look at Radharani. This is Radharani. Always think of me, become my devotee, worship me, and offer your homage to me. You're repeating this, but it's so lovely to repeat it. The result is that you will come to me without fail. That is the whole objective. I promise you this. What else you need? Lord is directly promising you, right? And he says, my dear friend, engage your mind, always thinking of me, engage your body in my service, surrender unto me, completely absorbed in me, surely you will come to me. Where do you get so much of promise? Who gives promise? If your boss tells you that you have to achieve this target you promised, he said, I will try. He is giving you monthly salary, but you say, I will try. Right? But Lord is telling, and we are so lucky. that we have access to direct communication, only direct communication on this planet from Almighty to us is in Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavad Mahapuran. No other scripture, direct communication is there. We are so lucky. We are lucky to be born in this family. The phrase Man Mana Bhav Mad Bhakto means just be always conscious of me. The living entities in this conditional world are my mental parts and they are eternal. But due to conditioned life, they're struggling very hard and the six senses are basically confusing them. The purpose of love of Godhead and that religion which teaches us best how to love the Supreme Lord is the best religion. You know? So it's again love, 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 love coming again all the time. Prem bhav, prem bhav, prem bhav, prem bhav, prem bhav, prem bhav. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. So on the way to Krishna, we have done this.